Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. As always, I hope you had an amazing week. This week's video is dedicated to two wonderful special people, Matan and Ariella Zilberman. Mazel tov to you on your wedding, and may you build a Bayis Ne'eman B'Yisrael. In this week's Parshas Vayigash, the amazing story of the reunion with Yaakov and his son Yosef, who had been away from him for 22 years. He's now this king in Egypt. And as anyone could possibly imagine, to be separated from a child for that long of a period is an incredibly hard thing. And to reunite is something that would obviously bring along with it much, much emotion. And when they finally did meet, so Yosef fell on his father's neck and he cried. And our sages tell us that Yaakov Avinu, however, did not cry and he did not kiss his son, but rather, what was he doing at that time? He was saying Kriya Shema, the great mitzvah of saying Shema. And in the mitzvah of saying the Shema, in the parsha of Shema, is the pasuk V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha. You shall love Hashem your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your resources. And at this point, he chose to say Shema. So the question is, what happened over here? Why was Yaakov saying Shema? At this point, this is the point he's been waiting for. His son that he loved the most, he's waiting to finally be reunited with him. And he heard the good news, and here it comes. And instead he says Shema. So two answers I want to share with you. One answer is that Yaakov was always looking for better ways how to make himself an even greater servant of Hashem. And he utilized this opportunity, the love that he had for Yosef, he chose to channel that. At that point specifically, we mentioned this in the past, he specifically wanted to choose that point to mention to Hashem how much he loved Hashem even more, and which is the great mitzvah of loving Hashem even more. The second answer I want to share with you is that Kriya Shema is an obligation that we have to say Kriya Shema. We have to say Shema every single day, in the morning and in the evening, and it was time to say that. And Yaakov Avinu was teaching us how much his obligation towards Hashem overcame his emotion that he had for his son, to not be able to kiss him, not to be able to hug him, because he had to do what the right thing to do at that time was, what Hashem demanded of him was, showed us how in control of his emotions that he was. And if right now it was a time that he realized he had an obligation to say Shema, and it could be because he was traveling on the road and wasn't able to say it. That's why Joseph didn't say it, because he was able to say it until now. But Yaakov said, right now I have to say Shema, I have to say Shema. And of course, this is a lesson for us. There's so many times that our emotions tell us to do something, whether it's to speak in a wrong way to our father or mother because we're emotionally caught up with what it is, and we're actually transgressing the mitzvah of honoring your father and mother, or whether it's we want to run to do a mitzvah and so we knock over everything along the way to be able to do it. No, we can't let our emotions get the best of us. We have to keep that emotion in check and do what exactly is the will of Hashem. Now, of course, it's hard, and that's why Jacob was one of the forefathers, as he was great. But Rashi shares this idea with us because Hashem expects us to tap into this as well. Every once in a while, you could do it as well. And so therefore, Matan and Ariella, you're also somebody that has tapped into this. You've done your last number of years in your life, what it is that Hashem wants, not what your emotions want, and let that be a blessing for you both. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have an amazing Shabbos.